Welcome back to Ronin's Den, and we are picking up on our class breakdown guide videos, and we are doing today's one of the Spiritist. I know that one of our players has been eagerly awaiting us to do this class breakdown because it's the class she's playing, and she is having a ton of fun doing so.
Absolutely. So the Spiritist is your healer, your priest, your witch. Basically, they deal with the spirits, they deal with healing you, they deal with like light magic, just the happy, jolly, like priestly people. In some cases, druidy people too. Let's not be that way, but yeah. All in all, I like the Spiritist. I think it can be a lot of fun.
Yep, it's your stereotypical tropish healer class. If you're going to be casting healing and support magic, you need to take Spiritist as one of your classes. Let's jump in and look at the free benefits we get for taking Spiritist. You get 2 just like every class. And the first one is you get a maximum increase of mind points by 5. This is pretty typical when it comes to caster classes, getting that mind point buff, as is the second one, which is you can perform rituals that fall within the ritualism discipline, which we're using quite a bit more of the rituals in Capiterra now. And as we've made the videos doing this and been using them in the game, my opinion on them's changed quite a bit. I'm actually really digging the ritual system.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. The first set of skill that you get is a 2-point skill. You can put up to 2 points in it, which is called Healing Power. When you cast a spell that targets one or more allies, if you have an arcane weapon equipped, you may have each of those allies recover an amount of hit points equal to your skill level multiplied by the number of bonds you have. This healing is separate from any healing caused by the effects of the spell. So no matter how many, if you have 6 bonds, right, you get 6 skill level times 2. So 12 extra healing out of a spell. This is an addition. So you do your normal healing with the spell, and then you add this healing on top of it. You can't go wrong taking this. If you're going to play Spiritist and you're not going to dump all your points into spiritual magic or any of the other 3 skills that are available, this is a solid 2-point investment.
Also, the thing to note is it says when you cast a spell. It doesn't say Spiritist spell. So you could theoretically be healing people all the time. Even with other spells. Honestly, for the 2 skill points to be able to heal people quite a bit if you have bonds with them just by casting spells, no reaction needed, no action needed, it's really good. It's just your typical healing bonus that like a healing class would get. The next one is the ritual spiritism. So you may perform rituals whose effects fall within Spiritism discipline. Spiritism rituals use insight plus willpower for the magic check. Every class gets kind of its own option for rituals. So ritual Spiritism just deals with anything that would be spiritual-like. We did a whole video on rituals, so if you want to go check that out and see how rituals work, like Eric said in our game, Welcome to Capiterra, we've been using a lot of rituals. It's kind of funny that we were kind of down on them and we're like, we don't know if we'll ever use these, and now we're using them all the time. It's just kind of interesting.
Yep. We might even have to revisit that ritual video to update some of our information in there because we've been using them a lot more even since that video. The next one is going to be spiritual magic. This is your bread and butter. For each point you get to take 1 spell. So this is how you're going to get your healing spells, your status protections. This is your spiritual magic. This fills out your spell book. You can take up to 10 spells. You need to take spells.
If you're not If you're not taking spiritual magic, why did you go into spiritual or a spiritist class? Kind of like all of the other caster classes when they have that XYZ magic. Why would you even go into this if you're not going to take those spells? This is your spell book. This is the only way you can cast spells. All of your abilities really synergize with you being able to cast spells. If you didn't take them, why are you in this class? Next is support magic. When you cast a spell that targets one or more allies, if you have an arcane weapon equipped, you may choose one of those allies you have a bond towards. If you do, that ally gains a bonus to the next check they perform during the current scene. This bonus is equal to the strength of your bond towards them. This is 1 skill point. If you have 3 bonds with them, their next check has a +3. There is really no negative here. It's when you cast a spell. Once again, take your spells. Why are you taking this class if you don't take spells? This lets you cast a spell and give your allies a bonus. You are the support class. This is what you do. Cast spells and make people better.
Yep. The last skill is Vis Magus. This is one of those high risk, high reward skills. When you cast a spell, you may, and if you don't have enough mind points to pay for its total cost, you may choose to spend twice as many hit points instead. You cannot use this skill if doing so would reduce you to 0 hit points. If a spell cast this way would cause you to recover hit points, you instead recover no hit points. The spell functions normally on any other target. High risk, high reward. Again, it just says spell if you cast any spell. So if you are multi-class, well, everybody has to multi-class, but one of your other classes is Elementalist. And you go ahead and you want to cast Flare because you're fighting something that is weak to fire. So it's going to take double damage. Flare's base damage is 25. So it's a minimum of 50 it's going to take. You don't have any mind points left. The rest of the party is hurting as well. You do have 45 hit points. So you go ahead and you dump that into Flare for the high risk. Hopefully this hits, and hopefully I do more damage than it has hit points. That's what this spell is. It is a Hail Mary. The clock is running out.
Yeah, it is. It's like you said, high risk, high reward. You're sacrificing your health instead of using mind points, which can be very, very risky. If you cast that spell thinking it's going to take out the enemy and you miss, and now you're at no hit points left or very minimal hit points, you're kind of done. You're screwed. It is that Hail Mary, we need something to happen. I could see Celine in our game having this just to be able to cast Lux when all the rest of the party is down, and that being like this epic finishing move on an enemy that saves the day. Like there's so many ways that this could be thematically awesome, but it could fail colossally. So just be careful with it, honestly. All in all, that's the Spiritist class. It's your typical healer. It's your typical support. Your job is to heal people, and that's it. Eric, I believe we wanted to take a look at 2 spells real quick to just kind of show spell options.
Yeah, those being Heal and Lux. They are the 2 spells that Celine casts in our game the most often, and I think they do a good job of showing us that even though the Spiritist is set up to be the healer and the support caster, they're not pigeonholed into only healing and only casting buffing spells or debuffing spells or curing diseases. A Spiritist can pump out some pretty good damage on par with an Elementalist.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the heal first.
Okay.
Heal is the name of the spell. It is the mind points, or the mind points it cost is 10 times the number of targets, which it can be up to 3 targets. You invigorate your companions, soothing their pain and healing their fatigue. Each target recovers 40 hit points. This amount increases to 50 when you reach level 20 or higher, or 60 when you reach level 40 or higher. It's your typical spell. And this one, because it isn't a offensive attack, there's no roll. You just heal your allies, and it costs you a bunch of mind points, but that's what it is. Now contrast that to the next spell,
which is Lux, and this is a combat spell, and you can tell that in the book by the use of that red lightning bolt. Red lightning bolts are martial spells or things that you're going to need to roll an accuracy check to see if it hits. And this uses a pretty standard formula for multi-target spells, which is 10 times the number of targets, up to 3 creatures. It's instantaneous, and you focus your inner energy into a barrage of blinding soul rays. Each target hit by this suffers high roll plus 15 light damage. It inflicts the opportunity of each target hit, also suffers daze. Now, this goes into the support style of the character, providing debuffs on the target, which then can work with other classes that have skills that synergize with debuffs, like the rogue's cheap shot.
Yeah, and it's kind of an interesting thing to look at, that just because you're playing a healer does not mean you don't have some kind of offense. You can throw some spells that do things, deal damage, cause debuffs. There's a lot of options here. You're not just limited to, I heal people, which is something that's a concern for a lot of support classes. And I think Fabula has done a really good job of making this class really diverse. Plus, with all the synergies you can have with other classes, creating an interesting build. It's just, character creation in this game is so much fun when you have classes that are so unique and diverse, like the Spiritist.
Agreed. No notes. It's a great class if you're looking to play a support character. Gotta take it.
All right, this has been our breakdown of the Spiritist. As always, I'm Steve, and that's Eric. We are currently in the process of figuring out what types of videos we're going to put out next. If you have any concerns, comments, anything you want to say to us, put it in the comment section. We do look at those. We do read them. We are in the process of making some videos that have been requested. We will get to those as quickly as possible. We're nearing the end of the class breakdowns. But yeah, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. It means the world to us when you do that, and it helps the channel grow, getting our videos out to more people who may be interested in Fabula Ultima. That's been our take on the Spiritist. You all have a wonderful night.